Hey. Good night. Welcome to the show. iRepSports Sports Show. I am your host, Rick Winter. While I'm here with you tonight, I await the arrival of my other colleagues, but glad to have you joining us tonight for our show, our weekly podcast where we talk about the sports we love. And we continue talking about football, and of course, we being primarily Liverpool fans will definitely be talking about Liverpool as
Yeah,
always.
don't let me know the stream until me tell you better because my work never done because me
So tonight we on our program we will be definitely talking everything football tonight as the EPL and Champions League continues. So we're doing an EPL review, a Champions League review. We'll look at the Liverpool crisis as it relates to um, news going around in recent times that Jurgen Klopp is Jurgen Klopp, the man at the helm of Liverpool, is being blamed for the injuries happening to his team. So we'll be looking at that tonight. All right. So how are you doing? All righty. Well, welcome to the show. All right. How are you doing? All right. So we have just completed week 10 or match day 10 of the 38 game season of the English Premier League, and the games that went last week are as follows. So the weekend opened with Crystal Palace going down 2-0 to Newcastle. And man, that was a surprise for me because, well, a couple of weeks ago I've said that Crystal Palace is a team that blows hot and cold, and so I was expecting them to at least to come good after going down the previous week. But nonetheless, they went down 2-0 to Newcastle. And Newcastle won that game at Palace. And in the first game on Saturday, it was Brighton 1, Liverpool 1. A game that had a number of controversies, right? Liverpool wasn't at their dominant best, but they did enough to win this game. Um, yes, Brighton had their chances. You know, Liverpool still played the high line, and Marpy was um, guilty of missing a gilded chance in the first half with beating the Liverpool high line. He also missed a penalty, but despite that, Liverpool had the game to win. But uh, after finally going ahead through Jota after Salah scored in the first half but was judged offside by VAR. And when you look at it, he was online. I guess it's just his hand, but VAR said it's offside and it was chalked off. Then um, you had who was it, Mane also, and so that's how it ended. And of course, controversy continued because almost at the end of the game, Brighton was awarded a penalty for what VAR says was a foul on Danny Welbeck. And so the game ended 1-1. That point pushed Liverpool to the top of the table, at least for the time being. In other games on Saturday, Manchester City found their scoring boots and for the first time this season scored more than once in the English Premier League. They won 5-0 with an hat-trick from Riyad Mahrez, the Algerian. Leeds, they won 1-0 over Everton, and Everton continued to slide down the table. West Brom, they defeated Sheffield 1-0. Um, I I thought this game would have been a draw, but Sheffield has been struggling. This team did so well last season, but struggling for goals, struggling for points, and they're at the bottom of the table. Chris Wilder really wondering what's happening with his team. Manchester United went to St Mary's in the south of England and won 3-2 after they were trailing by 2 goals to nil. Of course, he had Edison Cavani showing his worth with 2 goals and Bruno Fernandes with the other, as Manchester United came from behind to win by 3 goals to 2. The big match on Sunday, the big match on Sunday, Chelsea and Tottenham ended 0-0. A game that I was hoping to have my. Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, man.
Yeah, man. How you do?
I'm good. I'm good. I am excited to be here, especially when we have an additional platform. I'll just send you a message. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I just encourage everybody as you jump on iRepSports. You know, there are some scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. iRepSports on Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube. So smash the like button, comment, share, and let the word get out that we are on all the platforms that are up and running and able to have people engaged. So jump on tonight and let us hear what you have to say. We have quite a few topics we're gonna run through. So not sure exactly. I guess I was doing the preliminaries. Not sure what you got through, but ready
Yeah,
to
man.
go, man.
Just going through the week
Okay.
review, EPL review. Yeah, I was talking about the Chelsea Spurs game.
Or Chelsea Spurs. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, this one is one of those games where both team had chances. I think the Chelsea fans would say they had a few more chances than Spurs. But at the end of the day, nothing happened in the first half, and I think both teams didn't really want to lose. Didn't really want to lose, and it ended how it ended. So it's one of those things where Jose Marino, whether other side that he goes against missed chances or didn't do play well, whatever the case may be, but he usually doesn't lose against the top six sides, top 4 to 6 sides, and he has a good team. Spurs is a good team, a solid unit. a team that actually can go quite a long ways in my estimation in this campaign, especially because of the injury crisis, the COVID situation. I think the team that is able to cope with it the best, with injuries and other situations like that, is going to be the team that probably is going to come out on top. Unfortunately, our team, Liverpool, is continually having injury issues pretty much every game, and we just hope that we're able to ride the storm, especially that we're just now kicking into December, where the games seem to be even closer together than how the COVID is set up. Though pretty much that would not be possible, but it's just gonna seem that way. It's how we cope with those things until we can get into the new year and things kind of settle off a bit. But again, now that I'm talking, it's almost like I'm saying settle off where, because of the COVID situation, it's almost like December right throughout the whole campaign. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be three games every 3 or so days. So it's just mad. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. Wolves 2-1 over the Gunners. How was that for you?
Um, didn't get to see much of it, but what I know is that Arsenal is in some trouble because they consistently um they're consistently inconsistent, and the issue that they're having is that they don't really have an identity as to how they wanna get through the campaign. Um, the play is now becoming pretty much predictable in terms of how they're approaching the games. Aubameyang is not scoring the goals that he was before, and I think it's all having to do with how they're utilizing him. And well, one of the main things is that nothing is coming from the middle. So him getting the service, that's been a problem. For a man that has scored 20 plus goals for the last 2 seasons, if memory serves me right, he's barely registered on the score sheet. I think maybe he has 2 goals. Maybe it's one's from the penalty spot, and I think the other one maybe from open play. I'm not even sure. But the long and short of it is that um, Arsenal is not in a good place right now. And honestly, I can't see them righting the ship anytime soon. Arteta, I thought, came in and he would have been able to bring some spark and some life to a club that he knew well, a club that he was a part of. I think he won a few trophies there as well. And learning under the tutelage of Pep, some would say, and some would say he was the brain behind some of the things that happened there. He thought he could translate it to Arsenal. Still early days to some extent in terms of him being able to bring his full culture and his full approach to the team. And I think Thomas Partey and a couple other, it was a good purchase, for example, but it's going to take time for everything to gel and come together. But in terms of how they utilize Lacazette, I was speaking to an Arsenal fan today, co-worker, and he was basically saying that he doesn't think Lacazette is the man. Not the number 9 that they need. And I mean, I can kind of see what he's saying, but at the same time, I don't understand why he keeps being pulled out of games, not being able to play the full 90. And I think he has the ability to play fully and get through the fixture. And he does work well together with Aubameyang. So for me, I think that's something that needs further exploration. And just the way they play sometimes is very slow and methodical, or slow and just um, not really going anywhere. Sometimes they're playing and you're not really seeing the end product, and that's what happened against Wolves. Wolves are a quality team. Lose some games that you wouldn't expect them to lose, but they're a team that continues to fight, and they happen to get over the line. Horrendous head collision with David Luiz, um, for Raul Jimenez, who did surgery and is in recovery mode. But again, it begs the question, and it speaks to again this whole thing about one, the heading of the ball. This particular situation, they probably can't get it out of the game, of course, in terms of heading, and persons, attacking the ball, but you can see the serious damage that can take place. And for me, it was a blunder as well, that um, they kept David Luiz in the game. Um, David Luiz had a head wound. They wrapped it up. Blood was still seeping from the wound, and he was still able to allowed to continue and play through the half. That is for me is just a no-no, and I just don't understand how people operate at times and these precautions that they should be taking.
Yeah. Because what is this? Raul Jimenez was also injured in that.
Right. Horrible injury. Horrible injury. He had a fractured skull, I believe.
Hmm.
Give me a, yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Give me a sec. You hearing me?
Yeah, man. All right.
Okay, yeah. Give me a
So,
sec.
so come on. On Monday, not a surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. All right. So you said it. You saw this. The text.
Yeah.
All right. So see.
All right, people. So while Al is off for a few, um, let me know what other game you were able to watch. Were you able to watch some more of the games that came on over the Premier League weekend? I will be back shortly. Just a second here. Let me see if I can bring something up. What I'm gonna do is put some of these fixtures here for the Premiership. These the results, standings, also for the table. Just trying to bring this up. Just a second. Okay. All right. Let's see. Bring up these. Get these fixtures up. Uh, all right. So this was the last round of fixtures. So we can bring it up on the screen. Let's see. All right. So I'm hoping everyone can see that. Um, maybe. Oh, you're not gonna able to. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it. I'll has to enable the screen to be brought on live. So you're not gonna be able to see that just yet. All right. So let me just run through some of the fixtures that I'm looking at. So as I said, Wolves, um, as we would say smashed out Arsenal's team. Wolves bit the Gunners Gunners had a damp squib, not didn't do much, and have not really been doing much in the campaign so far. The Gunners are languishing. Let's see where they are. Just a second. No, they're not in the top six. There we go. Gunners are 14th on 13 points. 10 games played and 13 points. Is it time for Mikel Arteta to go, or is it too soon? Not sure what your thoughts are, but um, let me know, or let us know what your thoughts are when it comes to the Gunners. What else? So they lost to Wolves. Podence, good player, got a good goal, along with Pedro Neto, um, two quality young players. And Wolves always seems to find these young players. I don't know where they get them from, but they continue to find young players who have quality. They just lost Diogo Jota to, of course, Liverpool, but they keep on ticking. So I really rate Nuno Espirito Santo very highly. He's a quality coach. Um, and Arsenal replied, sandwiched. They were sandwiched by the goals from Wolves, with a reply from their newly acquired defender Gabriel, an assist from William. So um, the the Gunners, went down, and of course David Luiz was pulled at halftime, rightly so because of the head wound. Um, and so but the Gunners continue to struggle. 1 minute they're up, the next minute they're not doing so well. The last run of fixtures, the last 5 games, they lost, they won, they lost, they drew, they lost. All right, so that's poor form, and I can foresee that continually happening to them throughout this campaign. Not seeing where they're gonna right the ship. Wolves, on the other hand, are right up in seventh spot on 17 points. That's what's that? Four of the leaders. Spurs at top over Liverpool on 21 points, and they lead Liverpool because of the huge goal difference. Liverpool conceding so many goals that the only way they can win this Premiership, if it's that close, is by getting more points or miraculously conceding very few goals. Spurs conceding a bunch, and Liverpool scoring highly, or Liverpool score highly while conceding a few goals, which I'm not really seeing that either. So, but it's too close to call right now. Next fixture on the agenda is, but I'm not sure if he did Leicester Fulham, but a surprise loss for Leicester, in my estimation. Leicester at home losing to Fulham 2-1. Fulham really played well. I was quite surprised that Leicester just did not turn up as well as I believe they could and should have. Who's to blame? Is it Brendan Rodgers? Is it the team? Is it both parties that should take some blame? Jamie Vardy, when many of us start, especially fantasy players like myself, thought that Jamie Vardy would have had a field day. At least he would have gotten a hat trick. That's the bare minimum. He got no goals. It was Harvey Barnes who scored, who came off the bench. And Jamie Vardy, the only contribution he had was an assist, but he was on the periphery, hardly in the game, and it was disappointing for a team that has the quality that Leicester has, and they just didn't turn up. Leicester, though, is in fourth spot. They'll be happy about that, but they'd want to improve some of their games. They have 6 wins and 4 losses, so they're already racking up the losses. But as I said, they're in fourth spot, so they'll be pleased about that. But they've lost their last 2 fixtures, so they want to correct that going into their next game, and they will be playing Sheffield United. Sheffield are at the very, they're in the basement. They've won no games, drew a game, and they've lost their last 5 fixtures. If if Leicester is not able to beat Sheffield, languishing at the bottom of the table, all the one any given day, a team can pull out a victory. But if they are not able to do this, then boy, Leicester probably doesn't deserve to be where they are. But it's an away game. But Leicester can still, in my estimation, get the desired result. Uh, they won two out of the last 5 games. They won away. Beat Arsenal 1-0 away. Beat Leeds 4-1 away. Uh, they also beat Wolves 1-0 at home, and they lost to us, the Liverpool Lions, and they lost surprisingly to Fulham. So they have some work to do. Fulham, as I said, Fulham played well though. I thought that Lookman had a good game. Um, I think his name is Cavaliero, Ivan Cavaliero. Yes, I think it's Ivan. He took the penalty. Fulham haven't got. It's surprising Fulham have gotten a number of penalties, over the last few games. I don't know why they've been able to get so many penalties, but Fulham has had a bunch of penalties, but they've missed a number of them. Um, but finally, someone knows how to convert, and they were able to convert their most recent penalty, and it was a good one as well. And so maybe this is the penalty taker they've been looking for. It's certainly taken Mitrovic off spotting duties, and I don't think he's starting as many games as you'd expect him to. So that is also a surprise that Mitrovic is Alexander Mitrovic is not getting the number of games as he should. I think he's a very good point man for them, and for him to not be in the starting lineup, he must have really rubbed um, Scott Parker wrong or something. He's not doing something because I'm just quite surprised that he's not able to get in to the starting lineup of a Fulham team that is struggling, and he was one who would always be able to get some goals for them. So I don't know if he did something to Scott Park and Park is upset or whatever, but it's just quite surprising. What else? What else do we have here? West Ham beat Aston Villa. Aston Villa, who started like a house on fire, the whole house is now burning down. They're in 10th position. Lost their last 4 out of 5 games. The game that they won, they beat, of course, Arsenal 3-0 away. So Arsenal again suffering a huge loss there. Um, and I think that West Ham is a pretty decent team. They're top 10 material. They're in fifth position right now. I can see them in and around the top 10, but nothing more than that. I can't see them cracking the top four. But West Ham is a good unit. Um, David Moyes is at the helm, and he gets a lot of stick. Persons don't think he's a quality manager, especially because of what happened at Manchester United. It is as if that wrote off his entire career. But I thought that he was shortchanged that Man U didn't get the requisite players. Well, they didn't buy into what he was selling, and no one backed him. And he eventually had to leave shortly after. But from his days at Everton, I thought he was a very good manager in terms of getting his team into the top four. They went into Europe. Sorry, well, that went into Europe, and yeah, they were doing pretty well back in the day. But for some reason, uh, after Manu, he's been written off. But he's come good at West Ham and has done a decent job with them, getting a number of players to show up. Suchek has done well for the club. Um, Cresswell is always and ever present. Kufal, they found a very good right back in Kufal, who was able to get up the right flank, put crosses in. Ogbonna, solid as a central defender. And I just think that, West Ham, as I said, is a solid top 10 team. Aston Villa, heavily dependent on Jack Grealish. If he's not scoring, more often than not, they're not um, executing or they're not getting the desired result. Ollie Watkins is a good young prospect as a striker, but he blows hot and cold. John McGinn is also a decent player, but they are struggling to just get the results, a string of results together consistently. They did that at the start of the campaign, but it was almost as if after the Liverpool victory, I don't know, maybe they got ahead of themselves, maybe I don't know what went off, but since that victory, they've hardly got a look in terms of getting the desired results. They've also been blowing hot and cold. Is really what I'm trying to get at. And currently, as I said, they're down in 10th. So they have some work to do. But the funny thing is that the number of teams, even though they're spread so far apart, the points spread is not that wide. So a victory here and a victory there, and for another team, a loss here, a loss there, and they could be pulled right either up to the top, the leading pack, or the teams at the top could be pulled down into the chasing pack. So that's something that can also take place. Yeah, Ali, you're back.
Yes, yeah, that's how close it is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah, just going through the picture. I said I was trying to share the screen, but I forgot that you're leading the chart, so I couldn't share the screen and bring it up.
But the table, you
Yeah,
want to show the table?
yeah, I
All
was I
right.
was showing the table. You want to do it, or you want me to bring it back up?
Yeah, man, I have one.
Okay.
Can see it.
Yeah, man. I was actually showing the fixtures as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was showing the fixtures the last round. I wanted to just highlight something there. So not seeing so clear. I'm not sure if you have to change the resolution or increase the um zoom in some more. I'm not sure.
Is it any better? No.
Hard. Hold on. I have to enlarge my screen. So yeah, I'll work with that. Um, where were we? But I was at you spoke about Southampton Manu. You were speaking about that one, right? Something like that.
Yes. Yeah, I was. I was.
All right. What were your thoughts on the comeback for Manu? I mean, is this Manu of old? Is it Southampton threw it away after a two-goal lead, or the changes 4 star, or just look at the draw, whatever you want to term it? That Ole was able to bring on some players, and the game began to turn around, especially one
It's both.
Edinson Cavani.
It's both. Both. Um, Edison Cavani is a quality striker.
Yeah.
Uh, I watched him against PSG today. He missed it. He missed it, but man, they
Oh, that chip, sublime chip.
just the thought of
Yeah,
doing that
man.
is just out of this world.
For real.
Um, so it's a quality of Edison Cavani coupled with and I go back to the game against Aston Villa. Though it was late when Villa got those goals, but
Yeah.
you were leading 4-0, and then almost at the death you are hanging on, and that for me says something about Southampton. Yes, you can score goals, but I start to question how well do you defend, or how much do you know how to manage a game after you're leading.
Yeah.
And so it for me is both. Not going to not Manu. They have their moments when they really do their stuff, because they have quality. No doubt about that. But I also blame Southampton for this as well. Because I think one of a Manu friend of mine said, "Oh, when he asked me the score, I said, no, they win 3 to him." Like, what? Times after they were down 2-0, him knock off the TV and gone. So,
Who was that? One of your
um,
friends.
yeah, man, one of my
Yeah,
friends.
man, typical Manu people, man. Them nowadays Manu people, them can't take nothing, We go to the very end. We believe in our squad and believe that we can put it out. They are they don't have that temperament. They don't have that gumption. They're just soft in the center. These nowadays Manu people that are can't stand losing and not being able to do anything over the last going 8 years, and pushing ever closer to 30 years, which I believe they will be
Soon be
getting to.
soon be a decade.
Yeah, and I'm loving every minute of it. Um, Arsenal is at what now? Let's see,
All right,
15.
bring back the table up.
Probably a good 15. Oh no, I wasn't looking at that. They're in 14th. I was thinking of Arsenal's drought without a
Yeah,
premiership. I think they've gone about 15 years.
from '04, so it's 16.
See there? Just like that.
Mm.
Just like that. So they're closer to 30
Hmm.
than they are to. So, these things can happen. But yeah,
When I look
I
at the table, Man U at ninth with a game in hand.
mhm.
Win that game in hand, and they're right up to 19 points.
Yeah, they're in fourth
They would reach
based
fourth.
on based on which would be 2 points off the lead.
Hmm.
So with all their rubbish plays and all the other nonsense that they're going on with and their inconsistency. 16 goals, 16 for 16 conceded
And 16 points.
and 16 points. Five wins, a draw, and three losses. Yet
Hmm.
one victory will propel them to, as I said, fourth spot.
And the same thing with
Uh,
City and Villa. Game in hand, they're right
yeah,
up to 18. 18
right.
points, put them in fifth. West Ham are at fifth.
Yeah.
David Moyes, man,
Right. I was talking about that. I was saying that after Manu is as if he was um
written off.
yeah, he was, the laughing stock, and I don't think he got a fair shot at Manu either. But for what it's worth, he's come back, went overseas. Who did he coach again? Was it Real Sociedad? Who was it? Sociedad?
I think so,
You
I
know,
think it was so for that.
I don't know what his record was there, but came back into the Premiership and he's doing well. I think he has a decent West Ham team. I see them as potentially in the top 10, maybe top 8. Who knows? I don't see them going into Europe. I think there are a few sides better than them for that. But at the moment, for what it's worth, congrats to them
Yeah,
and the
man.
hard work that they put in.
Yeah, man. Moyes was at Sociedad.
Right.
It was his failure to learn the language, according to the report, failure to learn the language.
Hold on, didn't they say that about Gareth Bale? But he does speak Spanish.
So they say, but someone said he speaks Spanish.
Yeah, I think I heard him speak Spanish. But
All
I'm
right.
just saying the knock on him was that he didn't want to learn the language, and sometimes I don't know. I need to double check some stuff. But for me, I just think the media can be extremely harsh for no good reason, and I think that's what they're trying to throw at David Moyes.
Yeah, they say that his failure to learn the language and lack of quality signings proved his downfall.
But for me, all right, I give them that they saw it. I wasn't watching it. But is it that a man who's just coming in? How long was he at Sociedad?
When he was there up to August, he's up to 2015. I guess not a long time.
I'm just trying to find out his tenure from what year to what year. I'm just saying, for a man who doesn't know the language or is gonna learn the language, for a man who doesn't know the players, especially if he's gonna be pulling from the same league, then he's gonna need the assistants to be able to help him, unless he didn't get a good assistance, or the scouting team to help him to identify the quality players. When they come over now, he can have a look at them and see, if it fits his system.
This is saying that he was sacked after 11 games. He picked up only 9 points after 11 games.
Wow. That wasn't even up. That no one they can't find between what and what period because it was the same year. It was the same year. That's rough. Same
Mm.
thing, and he's a more accomplished manager, you would say, than
Gary
Gary.
Neville.
You're exactly so for Gary.
That dark cloud will always be over Neville's head, man.
Gary never will never do that again. He promises himself that never go on that road.
Yeah. All right, so that's EPL. Um, Next on the agenda is we played Champions League this week. And what a week it is playing Champions League, and we squad was, you could say, razor thin.
Why razor sounds good, paper thin.
Paper thin. We had Kelleher in
What is
goal.
thinner? What is thinner than paper? Tissue thin.
Ah,
That's
tell
it,
you.
tissue thin. Uh,
Well, the surprise for me regarding our game was to see our third string keeper, which now everybody's saying is our second string keeper, starting. And well, the back line we had Fabinho and Matip, Andy, Nico Williams on the right back,
mhm.
and up front is what Jota, Salah, Mane,
Right.
Gene in the middle with Endo, and they have Curtis Jones. That was our squad, and then you had about three youngsters on the bench.
Youngsters is starting and youngsters on the bench.
Hmm.
Funny enough,
Right.
I thought that Firmino was gonna start, so I was a little surprised that Jota started without Firmino, or at least they would bring Firmino. Well, no, I don't think they would have done the approach of the four of them. But I thought that Bobby would have gotten the start. Didn't. But the youngsters didn't do so badly. I don't know if you want to give them a rating, but I don't think the youngsters did badly. Nico surprisingly got a good turnaround in terms of his game, because I'm concerned for him at times, because I think that he just lacks the awareness similar to Trent, and can get caught out quite a bit. He was very much focused this game and did a good job of tracking back and covering and so forth. Uh, so that is
No,
that.
well, Jurgen said that after the game on the weekend, he spoke to him because he pulled him and placed Milner around there, and so he spoke to him, and that was the improvement was much better this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is true.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He did well. Even that, even the cross with the left foot, it wasn't the greatest of cross, but it went into an area where, yes, we know Onana made a mistake, but at least it went into a corridor where the keeper couldn't just outright catch it.
Hmm.
So it was as you say, it was in the area of uncertainty whether the keeper should go or come. And Curtis, following up the brilliant job of staying with the ball, and was able to knock it into the goal. So it was good play from them. In terms of the front three, they're a little frustrating in terms of sometimes loose passes, one player not knocking the ball to the another open player, etc., etc. Those things were a little annoying, but they made it through. Curtis Jones had a really good game. Potentially could call him man of the match. He had strikes off the post couple times. Finally got his goal, and I just think that the the team overall was pretty solid. Was pretty solid, and I really can't complain. Kelleher, the goalkeeper, as you mentioned before, he was really brilliant. For me, I saw a player similar to Allison. His distribution was good. His decision making was really good. He was the one, I think, that kept in our 7-2 loss. Um,
Who?
so I think
Adrian
it wasn't Kelleher, or wasn't that game? I
against
was it in
Villa.
the League Cup? Yeah, against
League
Villa.
Cup last season,
Right.
5-5. Yeah,
Yeah.
was it?
So I think there's some improvements he's brought to the table. What I recall distinctly is his. I'm sorry, hold on. Is he? I don't know. I'm not even sure if he's left or right footed, but he played with both feet. Well,
He's two footed.
yeah, played with both feet. That left footed pass out to Mane over the half line to find him was brilliant, and he seems to have that about him in his locker. He is good with his feet, was commanding in the air. Not really to say in terms of when crosses came, whatever, but he was, at least when balls were coming and it was a decision between a defender and himself, he made a shout. He probably indicated and was taking charge of certain things. 2 point blank save, 1 point blank save, a brilliant save from a shot outside the area, that he had to dive and tip over the bar. The two notable attempts at his goal that he saved, and other than that, I just thought he had an overall very good game, and um, that's how I saw it.
No, man, he was outstanding. One of the reasons Klopp said he chose him over Adrian because he was a ball playing goalkeeper and a shot stopper, and because of how Ajax played, Ajax was is a pressing team, so he needed that kind of goalkeeper who was a ball handler, um, and a shot stopper, and so and and he was just excellent. He was just confident. He came out, claimed balls in the air, saved some shots, and I think the backline they were very confident.
Yeah,
Not like with Adrian. Every time a ball passed, there is you know yeah. But the game itself, um, dominated first 20 minutes, kind of tapered off. Front three should have scored,
right.
but with how things are now, I'll go with that 1-0 win. Qualified
Hmm.
for the next round of the Champions League, and so we can breathe a sigh of relief. So even if the next game we lose, next UCL game we lose, then no big deal. Right now,
Yeah,
just focus on the what's about 7 games now until
right.
January. Just focus on those. We should be getting back Keita this week. Trent maybe, Milner maybe. So we might have 3 players back.
Yeah. Um. All right. So while we're discussing these things, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share. Keep the engagement going. We need to ensure that once you're doing that, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing helps the algorithm, helps us get eyes on this what do you call it, organic
Mm.
eyes on the channel, and there'll be more people joining the iRepSports family. So please, comment if you're watching, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Let's
The person
let's
on
let
YouTube, the person on YouTube, please comment. Let us know you're there.
yes. So um let's look at some of the other Champions League games quickly. I'm not sure what you were able to see over the last couple of games. Are any surprising results that stood out for you over the last 2 days? Or the groups are really just crazy. In terms of some things are not finalized yet. So I
Ever.
think I think I think that is what we can look at. So of course Real Madrid is your Real Madrid is floundering, pathetico. Um, Bro, seriously, I mean, I know you guys still have a great chance of qualifying, but what is going on with Real Madrid? Really, seriously, is
All right,
it is it is it
before I
that?
get there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Evan Watson. It was a massive that we wrapped up qualification so we can just focus on PL for December. Very true, Evan. I totally agree with that.
yeah. We needed that win. It was very important, and it was coming on to crunch time. Liverpool is usually a crunch time club, right? We wait until the last game, eke it out in the last few seconds or minutes of the game, and then we celebrate the qualification,
True.
and slipping through the back door, probably come second, and then fight our way through, But this time we seal the deal. Let's not take it for granted now, and hope that with the topping of the group, it gives us a fixture that we can ease into the next round and be able to build some momentum, especially with the injuries. I'm just concerned about that, you know. Yeah, so respect Evan. As I said, guys, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Arab Sports is in the building.
Yes, 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 yes. All right.
Um, yeah, let's look at some of all right, let me leave your team for last, right? We'll dig into them properly, right?
All right, the other Madrid,
Yo,
the other Madrid,
yeah,
Atletico, they
yeah.
got that game to win.
Mm,
Bayern
mm,
played
mm, mm.
that even looked like a third
A
string team.
fourth string.
And
Yo, hold on. How you don't? Hold on. You don't play Lewandowski. You don't play
Nabry,
um Nabry, right? Muller was on the bench, um, cooling his heels, right?
mm, right?
You had chance and opportunity, and you threw it all away.
No, but the thing was,
Yeah,
you take the lead, right?
take the
They
lead.
took the lead.
Played a
And,
brilliant first half.
no, but you take the lead, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you start play defensive. Then in the second
Who's
half,
their coach? Who's their coach?
what do you say?
I build it up, build it, bro, build it. Go ahead.
Then second half, your best player, because Suarez not there at the moment.
Oh my days,
You
as
take
we
off
would say
Ja,
in
you
England.
take off,
My goodness.
you take off Ja Felix,
For what? What logical reason you have for taking off the ball?
Brethren.
What's the
This
logical reason?
this is your chance.
Brother, the man they are mad. Hey, Diego Simeone. I'm talking to you. You're a coach that I rated highly, especially when you won the La Liga,
Mhm.
went to Champions League finals, had a extremely talented, solid team, you know, right across the board. Carrasco's and the Correas and Koke and
Mhm.
Saul and Oblak, world class keeper, etc.,
Gordon,
etc., etc. Gordon,
Gordon and
um,
Miranda,
Miranda,
Felipe
proper,
Luis.
proper, proper, proper team, right? And your mentality is messing you up, man. You cannot have the lead like it had, and then you decide to now
You go
um,
defensive.
go defensive, and then you take off João Felix. Albeit though, he took him off in the 87th minute.
I don't
But at the
care.
same, hold on, I'm not gonna leave it there, so. But this is a guy that is the X factor, and he can get you a goal at any point in time, create something. And the funny thing is this, which I don't understand. Okay, so Thomas Lemar is all right. I'm looking at this. Yeah, he brought on Lodi and Lemar, right?
Mhm.
Lodi is an attacking um, wing back. Lamar is an attacking midfielder, or is a midfielder that he has attacking tendencies. Lamar hardly gets a look in. I don't know
Mhm.
what the money was spent for to bring him in. Joe Felix, I'm still surprised that he went there because maybe because he's the focal point of the team and he's getting goals. But this is not a team that scores many goals. And so for anyone who has attacking aspirations, Atletico Madrid is the last club I would want to go. And so for me, it just all goes back to the manager who's in his mind, he's a defensive man. And no matter if things are good and he has a lead, he's going to go into his natural shell and cause his team to fall into the same trap, and end up just messing things up. Look, even Hector Herrera, who was at Porto, scoring goals and setting up. He's coming on it. What is this? Is he spoiled for choice, or he doesn't know who to start or who to play? I don't understand this man. I don't understand. Give me a quick sec. Go on top, bro. Give me a second.
Yeah, yeah. That was Champions League. All right, so let me go all the way back to Tuesday. All right, so it was match day 5 out of. So let's go all the way back to Tuesday to look at the results. All right, so all right, Oni said that he's waiting until then, but let's talk about it. Shakhtar Donetsk 2, Real Madrid nil. As it is right now, Madrid is in third, and their next game is against Mönchengladbach, which Though going down to Inter Milan, Gladbach is a pretty decent team, and I would expect to beat Real Madrid. Although I'm hoping that they'll be able to at least get the second spot. But Madrid just never came to the fore yesterday and were down to Shakhtar Donetsk 2-0, while Gladbach lost 3-2 to Inter Milan at home, but still leads the group. RB Salzburg were 3-1 winners over Moscow, while Marseille won their first game of the season in the Champions League, winning 2-1. In the Atletico Madrid Bayern group, it is 1-1 between Atletico and Bayern Munich. And of course, it's the same group with Marseille and Olympiacos. Liverpool 1-0 over Ajax, Atalanta and Midtjylland 1-1. City and Porto ended 0-0, a game in which Phil Foden was just outstanding. Um, Porto was expecting to win their game at home, but City City held out and um, well, they had qualified from last week, so still a good result for them. RB Leipzig won their game against Istanbul 4-3, at which helps to um, as they seek to qualify for the next one of the Champions League for the second season running. Krasnodar beat Rennes 1-0, and in today's game, it was a very interesting one in England between PSG and Manchester United. A very interesting game because over the last couple seasons, Manchester United have had the upper hand despite all of the money spent by PSG. And today it seemed that way at some point, though PSG led in the first half. A lucky goal from Marcus Rashford made it 1-1. But PSG decided that they needed this game and came out 3-1 winners. Goals from Neymar carrying them, two goals from Neymar carrying them, and Marquinhos carrying them to a 3-1 win. A game in which you saw PSG fighting. And when I say fighting, I mean they were determined to win this game. And I could say for the first time in watching PSG, and it's not the first time I watch them, but what I mean is I've watched them over the years, and I could say this is the first time I could say I see PSG fighting. Normally they would give in, but there was a fight. They took the fight because they were determined to win this game. And maybe it's a statement by Neymar which says he didn't sign for PSG to play in the Europa League. And so 3-1 winners. Of course, Fred was shown a red card. Um, was it a red card offense? Well, a second yellow that is. No, because to be honest, he got the ball. He got the ball. But he had the ball, and it was losing control, and he slid for the ball. So it was not an attempt to kick the play, and it wasn't like Studs was up or anything. And I don't think that deserved a second yellow card. But of course, the PSG player appealed, especially Neymar, and that was that. PSG 3, Manchester United 1. I also watched the Dortmund Lazio game.
I came on the right time. Woohoo! Man,
Um,
you going down. I'm unlike many of my friends, like my brethren O'Neill, Meredith, and others who are Prem League centric.
mhm,
Um, so if England wins, everybody wins.
mhm.
That I don't have that in me, bro. Man City must lose, and
Man City are
especially because I don't want Pep to get
Man
anything
City.
because I don't
Oh,
rate him.
okay.
in the esteem I had and the regard I had for Pep, you helped to steer me in the right direction for years. But that's for another show. You were telling me, and
Evan Evan said
oh
that
sorry, go ahead.
Evan said Fred should have been sent off from the headbutt. I missed that one, Evan. I missed that one.
All right, so basically what he did was, what it was like this. This was a player.
Mm-hmm.
So the player, you can see, right? This was a player. And so
Mm-hmm.
Fred go a thing like this and rub off him for it. So he
Mm-hmm.
was leaning on him and they kind of do a rub off thing. And
Okay.
the ref, Evan, not about Evan, because Evan, Al, when this is a sequence of plays, when it happens, let's say, I don't think the ref saw it. Yeah, no, the ref didn't see it. VAR step in, and then you see the ref do this.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, uh-oh, you know what's coming next. You're dead. The ref went to the monitor, looked on what Fred did, and handed him a yellow card.
Okay.
I have never seen that in this modern dispensation where someone feints there because it's not like he just leaned on him on his head and then took it off. You know, he leaned in and then did a thing like that. And when that happens, you expect that it's gonna be because the intent is there. And well, I don't know. And he did another tackle where it was deemed that the other player, I don't remember his name, his studs was up. He cleared the ball. They said it was his studs was up when he cleared the ball. Fred stepped on his ankle, and the guy who cleared the ball was like bang bang. He got a yellow card,
Mm-hmm.
right? All in all, should have pulled Fred long time when they see him with him recklessness, but we're glad he didn't because we got the result that I enjoy. But long and short of it is, sometimes as Manu does what Manu does these days. They're inconsistent. People are blaming Martial that he should have scored, and this wouldn't have been an argument. But guess what? In every game, things like this happen. We have many games where we can say, boy, if Liverpool's players did X, Y, and Z, then we would have won the game. But it happens many times that players miss chances. And when you miss chances, it's either the coach pulls you and bring in someone who they believe can score, or you just deal with the consequences. Don't mind me,
So
I'm having a nature valley.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Evan said VAR only reviews dangerous foul play. So how Fred got a yellow is baffling to say the least. So it's him should I get a straight red?
But Al, you sound, I thought your response would have been a little more shocked because remember, anytime these plays are reviewed,
Mm-hmm.
we've never seen another color besides red. So for
Mm-hmm.
Fred to get a yellow card,
No, I didn't see that one.
no, I'm
I
just
saw
saying.
one yellow. Okay.
I'm saying when someone has a headbutt thing,
Mm-hmm.
VAR calls the referee to the monitor.
Yeah.
Usually,
Red card.
I have to say usually because in this case, this is the first I've seen it. 99% of the time,
Red
it's a
card.
red. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To see a yellow, it was shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he got eventually got it belatedly, but he got it, and PSG ran out 3-1 winners.
Deservedly. I was
Hmm.
surprised. Is this a new PSG or is this a poor Manu? Because usually when PSG comes into these games where they need to stamp their authority, get a win, they usually flounder. But
I was saying before you came back on that in watching this PSG game today,
mhm.
there was some fighting spirit about them that you don't normally see. Yeah, there was that fight. Marquinhos was up front, and he's a defender. Neymar was in the game. Mbappe never passed a ball to him, and him a quarrel because listen, the man them must want this game. And yeah, 3-1, good win.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Neymar wasn't rolling around as he usually likes to do. I
Hmm.
thought he has such a bad reputation. Like even when his ankle was stepped in, the commentators thought that he was faking.
Hmm.
But on review, they actually saw that different things were happening in the game that were legitimately
Okay.
why he was crying out. But putting that aside, as you rightfully said, PSG saw you saw a different fight, a different hunger. Neymar was really good. Um, when they, when he said it was poor United, if he's being honest. He said United were wasteful. But guess what? At the end of the day, most times PSG doesn't get through these fixtures anyway you take it, right? So
That,
United, if United want to be wasteful, we can say that about, as I said, many games, right? Teams will be wasteful, miss opportunities, miss chances, and you just have to keep plugging away. United still didn't do what was necessary to get the victory. If you want to get over these humps, you need to get these victories.
right. I was somewhat watching the Dortmund Lazio game. Um, this game could have gone either way. Not a lot of chances, but they did get chances, and it could have gone either way. Um, the Lazio of last season, I'm waiting to see that Lazio again. Um, I don't know what's wrong with this season with Lazio, but they were more clinical last season. They dominated games, they bossed the games, but this season something is missing, and Dortmund continues to be Dortmund, full of potential but not delivering.
Hold on, where did Lazio finish last year?
In Serie A,
Yeah,
I think it's
came
second.
like third or second.
I think it's second. You can reach it though.
Lucas Leiva in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Dortmund is a team that some games you say, all right, they're gonna blow the position away. When they get to the party, they don't show up. Didn't have Monier, who has been doing well defensively and getting offensive. Is an offensive threat. Didn't have their main striker Erling Haaland. Not sure if it was injury.
Injury,
Mhm.
yeah. Out
Mhm.
until January.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's out until January. I think it's hamstring. Oh, Lazio finished fourth last season.
Because I was saying third or fourth.
Mm.
I didn't know he was out that long. Wow. I guess they're gonna blame Klopp for that one too.
I'm touching on that tonight, right?
Yeah. But it just came to me. Perfect thing. Klopp was at Dortmund.
Hmm.
Um now he's at Liverpool. He's a class with the hamstring in general. So blame Klopp.
Yeah. And the four remaining games, Barcelona won 3-0 away to Ferenc Varos. Juventus won 3-0 at home.
Virus.
Um, I am still wondering about Alvaro Morata. The man looks so dynamic at Juventus. The- I saw a finish today, and I'm like, no man, this is not Morata at all. This is not Morata.
You mean the Marta at Chelsea?
The Morata at Chelsea, the Morata at Madrid, the Morata at Atletico Madrid. The
Hold
man looked
on.
like
Let me look
at
good for that now.
home. The man looked like he's at home.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. I hope I don't think it's gonna come up in your audio. So let me see if I can see what's going on here. Let me see if I can see this Marata goal. You can hear my audio?
Hmm.
You hearing it?
No, no.
Okay. Okay, so I've seen a good first touch, feint, slotted to the left of the goalie. That's a good finish. So you're saying what is the confidence of touch and placement and stuff? You weren't seeing it.
Exactly.
But where he was before.
All right, he's originally a Madrid player.
No, no, sorry. What I mean is where he was before. Um, at Real Madrid, yeah, he was doing pretty okay.
No, first he couldn't
I
break
was
into the
at
first team. Couldn't break in the first team, so Madrid sold him to Juventus. I think he was 18, 19 at the
oh
time.
the first team Juventus, right,
Mhm.
right, right.
Right,
And he
and
and he
he
started to
was
perform, didn't he?
Yeah, man, which is why he ended
Brilliant.
up coming back to Madrid because Madrid have the buyback clause.
Right.
I was it, yeah, buyback clause, and them time he had Pirlo. Pirlo was with them, so he had the confidence, but he was the main striker, and so he was scoring goals because it was as a result of him in 2015 that Juventus made it to the finals against Barcelona. It was his goals that knocked Madrid in the semi-finals.
Hmm.
The following season, he came back to Madrid. Wasn't starting a lot of games, but
Right.
whenever he came on, he scored.
Hmm.
Probably got about 15 goals there. About. Um, Eventually, I think he ended up with Chelsea because you're not getting a regular game. Never worked out there. Chelsea what loaned him to Atletico, then eventually
Hold on,
split.
hold on. Don't rush over that. Just a minute. You see, all right. For me, he got a lot of flack at Chelsea, and we saw that he missed some clear opportunities, etc. But for every player, or for most players, it's going to take some time to bed in. It's going to take some time to learn the culture, to learn the system, to learn the
True.
league. And I do not think Morata got the time. And for me, again, I think it could be his fans, it could be just the media. The media in England is extremely harsh. And once someone is not performing, they're ready to write you off. I don't remember what that. I don't can't remember what his name is. He has a radio program where he does the EPL roundup, and he also commentates. Um, I don't remember his name, but he always was disrespectful to Liverpool. I don't think he likes Liverpool, to be honest. And it's not me being a Liverpool fan saying that. I'm trying to remember his name. Um, don't remember his name. I think I'll find his name if anything. But long and short of it is, he was digging in at Henderson. So Henderson not good. Klopp, he's not gonna win anything, etc. And persons like him always seem to have a vendetta. When they find a club they don't like or whatever the case is, they always come up with some kind of story. They don't know the inside of what's happening at the club, or they don't know the mindset of the coaches, and they're ready to put them on blast. And at the end of the day, sometimes they look foolish, and so our persons don't get the requisite time to express themselves, like a Morata. And as soon as it doesn't happen in the first couple of months, then he's completely written off and say it was a waste to buy. He's no good. He's this and that. And clearly, Morata has talent. Clearly, Morata is talented. Um, and can score goals, and he's doing that at the highest level in the game. In terms of club game. The other thing about it is when he was playing with, I think it was Aspilicueta, if memory serves me right. Aspilicueta seemed to have a good working relationship with him, and he was able to feed him. In a number of games they played, and he was able to get some headed goals. Aspilicueta feeding him and so forth. Those type of bits of chemistry, you have to feed, you have to continue to build on those things. And
Mm.
I just don't think that he got the opportunity to really shine. It's the same like persons are writing um who's the player they're writing now? There's not a player, but it happens all through the league, and I just think it's unfair. Minamino, for example, and other players, I think persons need time to when a change is made. For example, let's say we are leaving from Jamaica, we are embedded here. This is where we're born and grow. We're very very familiar. If we were going to a place where we don't know the language, don't know the culture, and you're going in, it's gonna take your time. You're leaving your family. If your family is coming over, they may not come right away, etc., etc. Um, you then have to, as I said, adapt to the language, adapt to the style of play that the coach is implementing, living arrangements, and maybe the climate is cold and you're not used to it. So many factors. I'm just putting some of them out there, but so many factors for you to make a transition into the game. And for where England is concerned, you're maybe going from a league that moves a bit slower into a league that is fast paced. You have to adapt to that, the challenges and the decision makings, and so many factors. Especially if you speak a foreign language and you have to learn that now. Um, Let me go back to Minamina. Minamina is one who seems extremely reserved, and his culture is one that they're not really extroverts; they're more introverted. And so, even when they were at the celebration, and I think it was what Henderson or someone had to draw him in. Don't remember who the player was. Draw him into the celebration and say, "Come on, man, celebrate, man! You know, we won the title." He didn't really feel a part of the whole mix. So there's so many factors that go into a player being able to thrive and to be able to excel. And I just think that people are so easy to give up on players. Look at what happened to Nabry. He was given up on, was a, as some would say, a waste baller at Arsenal, wasn't gonna make it. And look at Nabry now, top player in the world and shining at Bayern Munich and one of their standout players, scoring goals internationally for Germany. Who would have thought that a few years ago when he was loaned out to, I don't remember which club, West Brom or one of those clubs, from Arsenal. So players can turn around, given the right setting, the right atmosphere. You know, so many things can happen.
Yep. All right. Let's quickly wrapping up the Champions League. Ronaldo scored 750th goal
Oh
in
yeah, I
that.
think I saw that they could move them there. Right. Uh-huh. That's big. That's big.
Um, Chelsea went to Spain and won 4-0 over Sevilla. All,
Giroud,
all four. Uh,
the
All
fourth
right.
timer,
My thing is,
the man who can't score.
Sevilla is. I don't. Sevilla is like the Crystal Palace of Spain. That's all I'll say. Just that they'll win Europa League.
Bro, I mean, just that they win. Hello, that's a trophy that some would love to have, right?
Yeah, man.
And
But
the only disappointing thing for Sevilla this campaign is that they have actually matriculated to the next round of the Champions League, so they're not going into their favorite competition. So
Mhm.
they won't be playing Europa League to win it for a fourth consecutive time.
Yeah. And the final game, Club Brugge 3-0 over Zenit. You see that youth named Dennis? You need to
Oh,
find a big
Emmanuel Dennis.
at Bruges. You need to find a big club that you can play ball.
Yep, I saw him a couple times in play, but he sometimes him
Maybe
hot and cold, you know. But he does have some talent, you know.
inconsistent.
He does have talent. Yeah, he's
Inconsistent.
inconsistent. He does have talent.
Maybe going to a better club might help him. But
But
he
but
has
but
talent. He
where
has
him come from? Where him come from again? I saw he scored a couple goals against, was it Man U or one of those clubs sometime ago from Nigeria?
Real Madrid.
Um,
Real
well,
Madrid.
okay, yeah. Um,
Last season.
yeah, you're talking about him, the guy in the light. Hold on, you spoke about the Leipzig game.
No, I just glanced over it.
Yeah, man, the 4-3,
Right.
man. It was really enthralling. I didn't expect that scoreline at all.
We have
But
10
that guy, eh?
we have 10 minutes and I want to talk about Klopp.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man, go ahead and then with us.
No, I'm just
Take
basically
a
saying
minute.
that it was that the player who what's his name, Kaveki, scored a brilliant free kick, and probably he's one to watch. I mean, sometimes these small clubs have some players that are diamonds in the rough, and I thought that Kaveki had a really really good game. Scored a brilliant hat trick, and yeah, they came out on the losing end though.
All right. All right. So Liverpool has been going through an injury crisis. M- More than 50% of the first team has been out. Van Dijk, let's go back. Alisson, Van Dijk, um, Gomez, Trent. We have had Endo, Milner, Thiago. We have had Mane out. We have had Salah out. That's what, 9. Keita, 10. Are leaving out anybody?
Um,
Shakiri, 11. All right. And so of late, they, it is being said that Klopp is to be blamed for this
the
uh,
injury crisis.
injury crisis that Liverpool is going through. Right. Let's drill though. Van
Ox.
Dijk,
Evan said Ox.
yeah, Van Dijk. Thanks, Evan. Van Dijk injury, was it as a result of Klopp or was it Pickford? Rhetorical question, we all know.
Yeah.
Thiago, was it as a result of Klopp or was it Richarlison?
Yep. Richarlison.
Exactly. Keita has been having these niggling injuries, likewise Shakiri, for ever so long. Not a Klopp issue. When Endo got injured, it was on international duty, not in a Liverpool game. That's five players, right? Yeah, Trent got injured in the Manchester City game, but he was just, I think, was just coming off internationals, right? Milner got injured when Mane was missing. It was COVID. Likewise, Salah.
Mm-hmm.
So, my question is, why are people saying that it's Klopp? That's his fault, and you have people that go all the way back to his days at Dortmund to say it's because of um one guy, the former youth coach at Dortmund, what's his name, Gary Gordon, revealed to Sky Talk Sports that Liverpool's injury crisis is nothing new under manager Jurgen Klopp because when he was asked by Alan Brazil, he said that Klopp's training methods are intense.
Right. That's the word going around. Too
Oh,
intense.
and Evan remind me that Gomez injury was international too, international duty. Right? Yes, yes, that's true. I remember too. Gordon continued, it's a lot of pressure on the players. The intensity in the game is very high, so you have to find the right balance between training sessions and matches. It's difficult to find the right solution at the moment. And I could go on and on. And the article that our brethren sent us from this no-name Liverpool player between 1999 and 2001, saying that it's Klopp's fault. I'm like, how is the man's fault? The truth is, when you look at it, Liverpool is not the only team that's having an injury crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Mourinho not sure that him have Hurricane on Sunday.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I don't know. He didn't state the extent of his injury, but he's not sure that he has Hurricane on Sunday. And I think there are probably two other players as well.
I know why he got injured.
And Alderweireld got injured
Alderweireld, yeah, in
a
a
week
game.
or so. So
Mm.
is Mourinho fault? When Fernandinho got injured, is why nobody not blaming Pep? These things happen in football. People need to remember, like, that's like for 2 years running, these guys don't get no break. These guys haven't gotten any break. Plus this past season, because of COVID, and then this is an edited version of a season. They got no preseason, and then Klopp revealed, and I know me understand why Trent probably was injured. Trent had COVID at the beginning of the season.
Mm.
Yeah, him can train when you have COVID, but more than that, you have to be in isolation anyway. You can't go to, you probably can just do gym work at your house, but you can't go to Kirby or Melwood at the time. You can't go, right? So how is is it Klopp's fault?
Yeah,
Matip was injured. Matip, we know says a glass man. Well, and I don't mean it in a no disrespectful way.
yeah, cause you know me as jump, you know me as jump out in the defense of those terminologies against the players. But
Fab
yeah,
pull, Fab other pull muscle.
mm,
That happens. Listen, if anybody understand hamstring injuries, you know that's something that once that start, it will continue. I remember when Michael Owen had hamstring injuries,
Mash him up, man.
mash him up bad. I remember Torres. Must it almost all the seasons he has been at Liverpool? I don't recall Torres playing a full season. Hamstring, miss out a month or two. When players get those stuff, it affects them. That's probably the hardest thing to heal. So I don't know how it is because of Klopp. Them say because of him high octane thing. Why?
But the funny thing is, all right. So first of all, how many days does he really get to dig in and train them to the extent that persons are saying it's extremely high intense? Because the thing is curtailed, and you bring up a good point regarding the season, 2 years, and 2 years running there was no injury. So what happened? This highly intense thing for 2 years straight. Remember, they're linked with campaigns. You have internationals. You have the whole thing was truncated. I'm trying to remember. This is 2020. 2018 was a World Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2018 World Cup with Salah and those boys being a part of that lead up and all of that, going late into the Champions League, 2 years running, right? Starting the campaign after. The guys hardly got any break in between. Did they have African Cup of Nations as well? Or
No,
no?
no, can't.
I don't remember. No,
They
not,
have,
not no, no, not this time. I mean previous. They went to African Cup, didn't they?
I'll have to check.
I think they did, but when either way, games have been coming thick and fast, and over they've been playing right through. So as I said, for 2 years running, and at some point, um, your body is gonna give in. And as I said, this season was truncated, no preseason. The fixture congestion is clear as day. The funny thing is that when a vote goes up, there's about 14 teams that are saying they want the five subs. Yet it seems as if it's Klopp alone complaining and Klopp is baby and Klopp is crying. Now they say six teams are the top six teams in the league in terms of these are the teams, the big six.
Mm-hmm.
Take away the big six. How many teams is that left? That's eight. So who are those eight teams, right?
Good question.
And then the next thing is there are six remaining that are still for the three subs. Isn't that still eight, eight versus six as a majority of wanting
Mm-hmm.
the five subs? So it still is in the majority of those wanting five subs, even if you get away the take away the big six. So so don't make it seem as if Klopp is balling and complaining and squealing, because I hear that in my ears. People are telling me that personally, and you're seeing it in the papers. Klopp is the one complaining. He's balling because his team is injured, so on and so forth. When you see, persons may not genuinely know, but one thing I've seen of this man, he tells it as it is. He doesn't sugarcoat, right? And he's not pretentious. When Klopp is speaking, if he says he's speaking up for players overall, he's speaking up for players overall. If he's saying that he's not talking about LFC only, he means what he says, right? And he spoke about, and many times in interviews he's spoken about other players picking up injuries in other teams, right?
Mm.
He's never focused on his team alone, and he gives context to what he's saying. So for persons to be bashing him and saying, okay, he's moaning and complaining and it's and all of that, then he has taken it upon himself to say, listen, I'm going to continue to champion this cause because it is utter madness. And people are going to come with a counter argument to say, listen, it's because the reason why you're able to do what you do and have the money you have is because of the TV schedule and the TV rights and stuff. He says, I don't mind having that, but be realistic in when you have the games. If a team is playing Champions League and so forth at a certain day, then you push them back an extra day or you put things in place so that you can still get the fixture you want, but give the player, because what is going to happen? The product is going to be damaged when the people that are pushing the product or you're looking on the players, they are going down. And this is a widespread situation where we're losing players. But for persons to be blaming Klopp and to be looking at him as a reason why Liverpool is damaged the way they are damaged, if you want to put it that way, it's so unfair.
But here the thing, and I think I said it on one of these programs before. When you look at Germany, Spain, Italy, and France, they have 5 subs. England has three.
Yes.
Now, when you reach international level, like for example, Euro is next year. Which team will have fresher players? I can guarantee you not England.
They're killing their own chances of trying to win what they haven't won in so many years.
I rest my case.
And they've always done it. And everybody's saying, but we've been doing this. When you say what was the name again, man? That comes on ESPN. Um,
Steve Nicol, Craig
Steve
Burley.
Nichols, yeah, Steve Nichols saying, well, we were playing three games, 3 a days, and so on and so forth, and all of that. Listen,
Never so
there's a reason.
intense. Never so
There's a
intense right now.
there's a reason why there's an advancement in science and other things. People know more today than they did before, and for persons to escape unscathed at points was miraculous because how the body operates and how things are now. That is why people pay big bucks for the science of the game to be at the level it is at. Yeah, people get okay. So everyone making a good point. People forget also that Clap was instrumental in PL instituting. The winter break type approach. How long that will last, we don't know. But it is absolutely ridiculous to believe that players can run on and on and on, and people are gonna say use your squad. But you see what it has come down to now. Um, Wait, bring that up from Evan again. That when that took it off quickly. So Clark must continue speaking out. That's the only way things get changed. Yeah, and if other managers stand with him, only funny enough, again quickly, Daz Kelly, Evan in a group brought up the two interviews. Daz Kelly interviewed Ole a few weeks back in a Champions League game, and very cordial towards Ole. Ole was complaining bitterly about the situation where the players are concerned, and he said that the leagues, the FA, set up Man United to fail, and they came out victorious. And he was basically saying, "See, in your face," because he gave us a 12:30 fixture when we just played a Champions League game on the Wednesday, I think it was. Fast forward a few weeks later, Klopp is in an interview with the same Daz Kelly or Des Kelly, whatever his name is, and the man was basically digging into Klopp and saying, well, it's not our fault, it's not our fault, and so on and so forth. Klopp was saying the very same thing that Ole was saying, in terms of why putting us at a 12:30 fixture when we played one Wednesday. Push it back a few hours or put it back to the Sunday. These are some of the things that they're looking at. And you're saying if the FA, and when the COVID situation is when the contract was signed, COVID was not a part of the mix. So know that COVID is in the mix. You have to give some kind of leeway to that and consideration. And they're not doing that. They just want to cram the games in. They just want to make more money. And that's all it's about. For them, and we saw that when they tried to implement the 14.95 or whatever the cost was for persons to see the games by a pay-per-view. So it shows that they're all about the bottom line for them. You see.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Evan. Klopp does need to continue talking. Um,
Come up, makers. They're gonna be digging into him. We just have hope that Liverpool can continue to win. So when he speaks, it will have more weight than if his team loses and they're gonna say he's moaning because Liverpool lost.
I will say this what Gary Neville said. Um, sorry to be quoting a monks, but this is what he said. I'm going to read the article. If he wasn't so good at finding the right words himself, Jurgen Klopp might consider using a Bill Shankly quote to summarize the state of play at Liverpool. It was almost 50 years since responding to one journalist's suggestion that his side were struggling. The Scot uttered the immortal line, "Hey, here we are with problems at the top of the league." But it is a sentiment that could justifiably be applied to the modern day Reds, albeit with the caveat of goal difference applied. That is largely because football public's confidence in Liverpool appears to have all but evaporated during what has been a tricky period for both manager and players. In fairness, it is perhaps no wonder that pundits and opposition fans alike have recently come to believe that things might not go Reds' way this season.
Uh,
Basically, what Gary Neville is saying that if Liverpool had all their players, it would all be a walk in the park. Because if with the injury crisis you are still at the top of the league, tied because of goal difference,
right.
imagine if Liverpool had all their players. It would
Mm-hmm.
have been a walk in the park.
Yeah,
And that
potentially that would be the case. Yeah.
and that's the thing, with all the crisis, and I'm looking at it, with all the crisis that we have, not so bad. We are we are tied for first, if you want to call it second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, we're right. We're on track. Qualify for the Champions League
Yeah,
next phase,
I've one more thing
and
and
keep
then
it.
we
Yeah.
wrap up. Champions League, them set for some major changes, but that is for 2024
Mm-hmm.
because there has been threats of a breakaway Super League for some time.
Right.
Um, the Europe, the UEFA want to change the fixtures. They want to call it the Swiss system. The Swiss system would mean that um, the clubs, each club would play 10 different opponents in a revamped group stage. And so they call it the Swiss system. What that means is that they will play 5 games away and 5 home games.
Okay.
They will use a seeding system. So as a result, they are saying that the domestic league cups and FA they'd have to drop out of the domestic league cup and they would have to discard FA Cup replays. But with the Swiss system, the top 16 clubs who progress from will progress to the knockout stage with the first place team. So what they'll do then is seed them. So after they win those 10 games,
Mm-hmm.
the top 16 teams will go to the knockout stage. The top 16 will go to the knockout stage, and they will be seeded. So like NBA, yes, they seed from 1 to 16,
Okay.
and so seed one, the first place team will play the 16th place team, the second place
Oh,
team,
okay. Got you. Got you.
and so forth.
Mm.
While so it's really so it's 24 teams going to come to the knockout phase. Well, here's the thing, not knockout phase. So the first 16 will go to the knockout phase, while from position 17 to 24, those will qualify to the knockout round of the Europa League.
Okay.
And then now
Um.
when you reach to the quarterfinals, the quarterfinalists they will automatically qualify for the next season Champions League.
Okay.
I say what a money I think.
Too much. Them too much. But hold on. Let's put that aside, and we can always revisit that. But we can't run off the wire, run off the thing without looking at some fixtures coming up, man. Because we're not gonna be back until next week. So unless we're gonna be doing some more shows, let's just quickly look at a couple of fixtures. And also,
Four
let's
minutes
just
we have
let's just
wrap up the
mention.
team.
Yeah, you see how Evan stay people. Yeah, but Evan. You see how Alric stay people. Um,
We
Aston
stay
Villa
over.
Aston Villa Newcastle was postponed because of COVID fears. So just have to mention that, right?
COVID at St. James Park.
Yeah. So due to safety reasons, so my fantasy thing just got blew up in my face, right? So that's for fantasy lovers like myself. But let's see which one now. Okay. I wasn't gonna mention it, but since Fulham won recently, do you think Fulham has any chance against City? based on
No.
City being inconsistent? No? Okay, so
No.
it's an easy win for City.
Yeah, man.
All right. West Ham Man U. West Ham
Uh,
at home.
West Ham 1-0.
All right. I can see that as a draw. Chelsea Leeds.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Chelsea probably has it. Leeds not really firing on all cylinders, not getting as many goals as they could, and Chelsea seems to be in a good vein of form. Let's see. Skipping a few. Spurs, Arsenal.
Hmm.
Spurs at home.
Spurs to win.
All
Mourinho
right.
factor.
All right. And Arsenal has been scoring goals, man. If Arsenal comes out victors in that, man, I'll be very surprised. And then finally, Liverpool versus Wolves. Liverpool at
Liverpool.
home.
Liverpool to win. Worse with if it, what my guy the out still. The main striker.
Jimenez.
Yeah, the main striker out.
What they got goals from Podence and Pedro Neto.
Yeah, man. They will, but that's their main man.
Okay, so you're not seeing them being able to pull off anything against Liverpool.
No.
All right. I guess I could basically agree with you there as well. So pretty much we're along the same lines except for the West Ham Man U game. I can see it as a draw. And yeah, that about covers the fixtures until well, we'd have to have tackled some other things a little earlier in terms of the Champions League. But I guess as usual, it's a post game thing. Maybe one of these days a surprise and do a pre Champions League game. Who
Champions.
knows? Pre Champions League show.
Yeah, man.
But until such time, I think we've covered quite a few bases. Please, before you go, hit that like button on the YouTubers and wherever you are. I'm not sure where you're viewing from, but you can like on all platforms. You can comment on all platforms. You can share on all platforms. Notification. There should be notifications um, for Facebook and for YouTube. Twitter as well. Yeah, I've never seen that, but for Twitter as well and for YouTube, you have the notification bell. You can be reminded of all of the shows that we'll be having. You'll be notified as soon as we are preparing and gearing up for one. So thank you so much for joining us. I'll allow Al to give his hosting wrap up, but 1892 signing out. Thanks for joining us for another iRepSports. What you gotta say before we go, Sir Winter?
Yes, well, want to say thanks for those who join us tonight for the Arab Sports Show. Glad you could join us and
First time on
partake.
YouTube, actually. Yeah, we're
Yes.
up, although Evan faithfully on Facebook.
Yeah, man.
But we're finally on YouTube.
Thanks for those who joined us on Twitter and those who joined us on Facebook. Glad to have you. We will be back next week, same time, 9:30. So you can tell your friends. We talk sports right now. We're talking primarily football, and of course, we will not be leaving out our beloved Liverpool.
Yes,
All
and
right,
for those who are non-Liverpudlians, I'm sorry, but that's how it is.
and listen out. We will always have our guests coming on.
Yeah,
So
we always try to have guests coming on. I think I have a guest or two lined up. So who knows? Maybe that's for next week or a week to come. But we have a few persons that have in mind and a couple that have committed to come on. So you'll know when the time is right who that will be or who they will be.
all right, all right. Well, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for nice to have you. And remember, like us on Facebook,
Twitter,
follow us on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube and
that's
share.
right.
All
That's
right.
right.
So this has been the Irish Sports Talk Show. Glad to have you. See you next week. Peace
All right.
out.
Take care. Blessings.